All right, so let's hop right into this video. And in this video, I want to talk about what I've been pretty much explaining or saying or, just telling in every video that I want to do. And I did some of that this weekend. Not so much adventurous, and that's kind of just fine trails to hit here and there. I did just take the 4Runner to get cleaned up all the like mud and stuff. As you can see, some is still there. The wheels look nice though. I did clean these up for once, so I'm really happy that I went with the bronze. Ended up selling last week the gunmetal gray, I guess if you want to call it that, method race wheels. No worries, I can always buy them again or go with a different set that's gray. But let's go ahead and talk about what I've been pretty much talking about in every video that I want to do, and that's take this 4Runner off on some good trails and just kind of see how it does. There's not much really around Richmond, Virginia is kind of the disappointing thing here, and that's why I downloaded the app. I've done a bunch of Google searches to try to just see if there's anything really relatively close. There isn't. Some of the trails, I think the closest one for like an off-road trail is about near 2 hours away, so you're gonna basically just have to plan like a day, maybe even a weekend, but I would say like a day just to go out there and hit at least two or three if they're close enough. So but the app, I think it's like Off-Road X or something. It tells you basically just people comment if it's open or closed, the weather, how the trail is, their struggles, and like I said, the difficulty level, if it's like a 1 to 3. I'll probably take this one, just on like a simple one to kind of see what it does. It gives you the distance and everything, which is nice. So I just want to see first before I get really too far into the weeds with this. But taking it, on stuff like, I took it around this little thing, this little bend right here. Nothing special, as you can see. And I found some like old trails that are near like that I used to take in high school, just messing around when I had an Isuzu rodeo. I had a 97 rodeo, which was fun. I was going to try to take this down there during the daytime today, but it just, all the wheat, all the grass is overgrown, and the problem is I haven't been down there in probably near 12, 13 years, I would say, my guess. So I would have to like get out of the vehicle and kind of just venture down to see where actually the path is, because it has like the steep decline, and I don't want to like fuck this up. So overall, as I can tell, like, my experience from just the first adventures, like with taking this on some small things, nothing, too exciting. The 4Runner did awesome. Obviously did not have to put it in 4-wheel drive whatsoever. It's probably about as, not, I would say difficult, but it probably had the same amount of fun as like if you saw the videos that I posted earlier this year when I drove this, and then my fiance drove it in the snow. So that was really fun. But overall, I really want to get this setup in the 4Runner itself out to some, trails. When I looked at some of the trails, some were about, I would say on average from 8 to about 13 or 14 miles long, which is nice. And they had like pictures and stuff, and pictures of like Jeeps and other 4Runners and Tacomas and stuff going through like pretty deep puddles and stuff. Nothing too deep, but something, just to have a little fun with. So my plan is to go ahead and do that, hook, charge up the GoPro, mount it, and then kind of maybe set it up somewhere up further, making sure like, I'm not blocking anybody, but, set it up further and kind of just film this going through, some small stuff, and then progressively get to some much, more difficult levels. But this isn't going to be something like, flexing the suspension and all that, trying to do that number. This still is a daily driver, but I also want to have fun with it. So, like I said, overall today, had some fun going through a little, some stuff, hitting the gas here and there, compared to basically just like driving it in the snow. No issues, but, it's something to do, kind of test it out a little bit. But I definitely think, out of all the videos I've talked about, the suspension, the lift, all the stuff like accessories or the extra stuff that I've added to the 4Runner suspension wise that it probably doesn't need, but might as well I went ahead and did it. I don't think it's going to have any sort of issues for off-roading. So so that's the plan here. The next thing I'm going to do is get the supercharger on this thing. I think that's definitely going to be really fun. So that's going to make some great videos, kind of just maybe if I can get somebody with a roller and just kind of film it entering like off the highway or something. So yeah, it looks clean for now. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. enjoy this warm weather here. So I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one.